The Asian Peacebuilders Scholarship Program is a shared initiative of the Nippon Foundation, the University for Peace, and the Ateneo de Manila University. The dual degree program endeavors to train Asian professionals to become peace-building practitioners and development workers, ready to take up leading positions in organizations across the globe. Ateneo's Department of Sociology and Anthropology of the Loyola School's School of Social Sciences provides students with innovative thinking skills needed in taking direct action and creating high-impact solutions to the complex issues of equity, justice, and peace confronting the communities and peoples of the Global South. The degree Master in Transdisciplinary Social Development offered to the APS scholars underscores the transdisciplinary value of cooperatively producing knowledge, participatory means of building capacities, mutual modes of determining ownership, and intergenerational sharing of benefits with and among the subjects of development. The APS scholars under the MTS Dev program exhibited competence in designing, planning, and implementing capstone projects with the active and meaningful participation of the diverse subjects, agents, experts, and community members. The Asian Peacebuilders of 2022, APS Cohort 15, conducted their capstone projects in various parts of Asia despite the challenges of the global pandemic. 8 development intervention projects were implemented by 8 groups, comprising of 26 international graduate students of Masters in Transdisciplinary Social Development. Under the guidance of the Department of Sociology and Anthropology and their project supervisors, the APS scholars partnered with non-government organizations and disadvantaged communities to undertake development projects on youth empowerment, peace-building projects, recovering after war on drugs, sexual and gender-based violence, food security, and sustainable development.
Aiden school challenges are a manifestation of the intersectional social issues that climate change in Mekong Delta forced farmers to migrate to urban area and become factory workers, and the inequality in accessing public education also limit the chance to have quality education for urban poor migrant children. Aiden School welcomes these children. However, teachers at Aiden School have various challenges such as financial and emotional difficulties, and also systematic inefficiency. That hinders the relationship between teachers, volunteers, and administrators, and that also puts an extra burden on teachers' shoulders. Under these circumstances, teachers' lack of knowledge of handling student behavior and social emotional skills are barriers to cultivate the culture of peace at school, which is the main problem we intended to solve.
We chose this school because the Capstone team members have a strong resonance with the school values and mission, such as the value of love, respect, belongingness, and peace, which did mark a significant impression on their passion for providing quality education to urban poor children. In addition, we will be able to apply our passion and experiences in the field of peace education and in working with children and the community. Aiden School is aware of its challenges and the need for peace education as a prominent solution, especially since it is new to Vietnam and that the government is planning to include it in the curriculum. Therefore, by addressing these challenges, the school and the Capstone team may address the inequality in education for urban poor children. And we anticipated that we can enhance the working environment for teachers through the pedagogy of peace education. The ownership of the community is vital in sustaining the transformation of the learning environment, which is reducing teachers' violent or negative ways of teaching and disciplining children in an urban poor community. It can be done through co-creation and co-designing in the whole project cycle management, from needs assessment, planning, implementation, and even during the evaluation. The project showed that peace education is an experience that made some changes, not just in the community that we work with, but also within ourselves in a very short period of time. With their willingness to practice peace education, the pedagogy provides teachers and students with an impactful space for dialogue to nurture the culture of peace.
In Myanmar, youth have been excluded from political representation at peace dialogues, and their voice have been suppressed throughout history, which is exacerbated by the military coup. Despite having these challenges and constraints, we believe that youth can play a significant role for building peace in Myanmar because they can be the engine that leads our country to its recovery and prosperity when the required conditions are provided, for example, access to learning opportunities. Therefore, our team focuses on providing the space and opportunities to youth to empower and transform them as agents of peace because it is indispensable for Myanmar, which has been facing long-term fragility, conflict, and violence.
As we wanted to focus on empowering youth in conflict-effective action stake in Myanmar, we partner with youth organization Michina YMCA because of its vision of building a more just and peaceful world where individual and community development is sustained and empowering youth to be responsible citizens. The role of Michina YMCA was really important for this project, not only because of our project goal alignment, but also because they have a platform to connect with youth and remind them of their positive role in changing the system and raising their voice and aspiration for peace.
An important learning experience through implementing this co-production project for us is that it is crucial to consult with the partner organization from the stage of designing a project until the evaluation stage. Another valuable learning experience is gaining practical lessons in managing the project. We faced some challenges and good learning opportunities because the training was conducted in hybrid mode. Conducting this project under the ongoing political crisis in Myanmar made us acknowledge that there is always a way to positively contribute towards empowering local communities to meet the needs of conflict-affected areas as peace builders.
Historically, Myanmar has a strong activist culture and a strong tradition of volunteerism. Students and young people in Myanmar have actively participated in and led human rights and democracy movements throughout history, which can embody the concept of United Nations Security Council established resolution number 2250, Youth, Peace and Security. However, since February 2021, the military coup in Myanmar has caused many people, particularly young people and children, to flee persecutions and led these people to become displaced in different locations, including Thailand, where they have lost access to education as well as opportunities to participate in the peace-promoting process in Myanmar. To address the problem of youth participation in Myanmar peace-promoting process, our project believes in empowering the existing local institutions and building student capacity through our education related to peace and conflict. Peace Connect teams hope that our project will bring the buried voices of youth to the surface and that the students will be able to contribute to Myanmar future's peacebuilding.
Peace Connect team believes that youth in the border and conflict-affected areas also have different perspectives and experiences on peace compared to their peers. Through integrating peace educational efforts, we would like to work with a school that has a great hope in young people to contribute to social change at Thailand-Myanmar's border that accommodates the displaced youth the most. We believe teaching is a hope-giving. Therefore, we began our collaboration with Min Mahal School in Mae Sot, Tak, Thailand, because we share the same vision that the new generation is our first priority, and peace education can inspire students to be catalysts for peace, as well as valuing the co-production, co-creation, and co-ownership principles. The school has been dedicated for 15 years since 2007 to continuously providing various educational opportunities to many migrant and refugee youth from Myanmar who desire to improve their leadership and communities. It also uniquely highlights the importance of critical thinking, which we consider to be the foundation for youth participation in our Capstone project's activities and future peace process.
Youth have infinite possibilities and capabilities to lead the ideas for peace, and they will be resilient even during the conflict if they realize their potentials to be peace builders and find a way to achieve their goals. Although young people are eager to seek peace, no matter how difficult time they are in, they seldom have chances to think what is peace and how they can contribute to peace. Therefore, offering youth the opportunities to learn about peace and let them reflect the ideas for peace by themselves is always a first crucial step to make a wave of peaceful society from generation to generation, canceling the structural barriers that they might face in shaping peace in their communities. After the implementation, our hope to achieve peace with youth power has become stronger, because we witnessed that youth are a strong ally as peace builders. Our peace educational intervention sparked hopes within Mimahor students and proved that they are capable and ready to resonate peaceful voices for social change across the world.
Our project tried to address the issue of lack of environmental education for youths in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. We think that urban sustainability is a crucial theme for developing countries in the rampant urbanization environment. There are environmental problems such as waste management, lack of green open spaces, and air pollution due to transportation pervading Yogyakarta. Thus, we believe urban environmental education to increase public awareness has become more relevant to address the issues. We focused the project on the residential community named Kampung Kota, which means urban village in Indonesia. They mostly do not come from the privileged society living in the city, and people in Kampung Kota might become more vulnerable residents due to constantly developing environmental changes. Raising their awareness has become more crucial now. With the focus on youth, we believe that youths are one of the most important members of society that need to have more awareness on the issue. They are usually the voiceless members of society while having the power to reimagine their environment in the future. We want to equip them with more knowledge of urban environmental issues. Thus, we decided to work on raising the urban youth's environmental awareness.
Kecil Bergerak, or KB, is a local social movement organization and the main partner organization of the project. Since KB has experience organizing, monitoring, and implementing educational projects for youth, KB could provide human resources, social network, local knowledge, and technical expertise in community engagement and arts-based activities. They could bring unique approaches through mural paintings and promotion video making involving youth to contribute to inspire the local environmental education. Moreover, the collaboration with KB on urban environmental education will equip them to engage more with urban youth members, specifically in this topic. I think the most important learning from the experience was team building. Team building was the most crucial but the most difficult part during the project implementation. We sometimes had different opinions and misunderstandings with the partner organization. I felt the difficulties of communicating with the project partners and participants online before going to the field. However, constant communication helped us to get to know each other and align project objectives. I liked the process that we could approach the project goals while overcoming challenges and learning something new with my group mates.
Economic land concessions were specifically designed by the royal government of Cambodia by the 1990s to reduce poverty and attract investment. However, this also rose human rights issues, especially for indigenous people, because of the limited access to the forest, change of agriculture, etc. caused by the ELCs. Therefore, in this Capstone project, our team decided to do 3-step research to review how these impacts are perceived by the queer indigenous people in Andas village in Confronting province and also in Pleme village in Plevihio province. Because in these two villages, the qualitative data related to the impact of EOCs are limited. Also, we focused on the impacts on food security because we believe this is an important factor to consider people's quality of living. Our partner is Cambodian Indigenous People Organization, which is called SIPO. And we decided to collaborate with them because they are the biggest entities which work with indigenous people and for their rights. And they have knowledge, experience, and human network in this field. Moreover, they recruit youth volunteers, and we strongly believe collaborating with these young power is very important to increase future resilience for indigenous people.
This Capstone project was a learning process to reflect the meaning of development and how it should happen. Throughout the project, the significance of participatory community development was highlighted. It must involve the most marginalized groups in the center and bring all stakeholders to the dialogue table. In this regard, the project team also learned how powerful the power of people is at different levels. Individuals, families, communities, cross-community, and cross-generation in sustaining their livelihood. As peace builders, we must believe and should not underestimate the power of people because it will definitely be the solid foundation for any equitable and transparent development process.
The problem that we decided to tackle is the economic instability of the relocation site in the Philippines. Income generation at the relocation site has been very crucial, and it became even more challenging than ever because of the pandemic. So our group decided to work with the local NGO with a lot of experience in community development, specifically at the resettlement site. So we co-developed the social enterprise development manual with partner organizations and local communities.
Our partner NGO that had been working on the resettlement sites in the Philippines introduced us to 6 communities near Karawan Laguna. These communities have been encountering difficulties after the COVID-19 pandemic regarding the income generation and payment for necessary goods and services. Also, women in the communities have willingness to do income generation activities. Therefore, we decided to do our project with them.
We encountered some difficulties throughout this project. For example, language barriers and cultural differences sometimes affected the progress on our implementation. We will surely face such difficulties in our careers as development practitioners. However, all in all, our implementation reached a satisfactory result. We published a training manual in cooperation with Jolly Homes Foundation, respecting the needs of the local communities. This project was a great learning experience to well prepare for working in the field of development. Thank you.
Preventing sexual and gender-based violence has been a challenge in Sri Lanka. According to Women Action Network, within the period of 2014 and 2015, there were 54 reported rapes and 95 child abuse cases in Ampara district. More than 1,000 domestic violence reports between the two districts, Bantikalwa and Ampara. More than 20%, 1 in every 5 Sri Lankan women will report to be subject to domestic violence, especially by their intimate partner. Number of cases has been increased during the COVID-19 pandemic because of many reasons. Women stay at home with their perpetrator, stress because of loss of job and financial difficulties, and addiction to alcohol by partner. While these statistics indicate report incidents, there are many unreported incidents of women and girls experiencing violence and gender discrimination.
The Diriye Women Development Foundation is working with women organizations in Ampara district, Sri Lanka for more than 10 years. It has a large network of women societies with a wider outreach for rural women. It carries out women empowerment programs, counseling and legal aid programs. It prioritizes its work on prevention of sexual and gender-based violence. Although they were actively engaging in prevention of SGBV, most of the training programs were ad hoc and making less impact in the community. Therefore, to engage meaningfully with the community to prevent SGBV, the need of a tailor-made training manual was identified.
Especially from this project, we learned that violence-free, stable family units are the first and the best place to start achieving peace. Also, the process of developing this training manual taught us that one of the greatest strengths of a peace builder is their ability to obtain effective and meaningful participation of all stakeholders in finding solutions to any issue, including sexual and gender-based violence. In this sense, we hope that our co-produced training manual on the prevention of sexual and gender-based violence at the domestic level is not only an isolated effort in improving the capacity of a single organization, but also a strong link of the big chain of peace-building efforts.
Hello everyone, my name is Manuel from the Philippines. When I came into APS, I was already sure that I wanted to dedicate my Capstone project to the survivors of the extrajudicial killings that were conducted in the Philippines under the Duterte administration's war on drugs. I had the privilege of being able to work alongside the A.J. Kalinga Foundation, who towards the end of 2016 developed and started implementing Program Paghilo, which aimed to provide different forms of support to the survivors of those who were killed under the war on drugs here. Initial conversations with the organization pointed towards a core problem, which was how do you ensure that the integrity and sustainability of a program is maintained? I personally felt that this was a very relevant question, and this is tension that's felt by multiple organizations and development workers, particularly from the Global South. How do you ensure that the integrity and sustainability of your program is sustained when you are faced with a lack of resources and institutional support, but you also within your team have a growing and continuous desire to reach more people in need and to extend your services to them? I thought that this was a very important question, a very familiar question as well. The solution that we identified, which was to co-produce a manual that would effectively enshrine the processes and protocols of Program Paghilo, I felt was a very exciting and also a very manageable project for us to do within the time that we were given. Moving forward after this Capstone project, I hope to take away the learnings I made through the different critical reflections I had on the process of co-production. I hope as a development worker to be more deliberate and more intentional in decentralizing power in the spaces we enter, and really living out co-production not only as a process but as a political disposition that I believe development workers all ought to have. That we strip power away from core or certain individuals and ensure that everyone in the space is able to articulate and shape the future that we're building towards.
Current conditions demand new thinking and practices of development and peace that are non-dualistic, disjointed, and disconnected, but more collaborative, co-creative, and co-beneficial to both proponent and subjects of development. The 8 Capstone projects are proof that the APS 15 scholars have developed the aptitude in directing, managing, and deliver multiple interventions in different conditions and settings, while closely adhering to the transdisciplinary principles of collaboration, co-benefits, and co-ownership of processes and outcomes of development.